My name's Catherine Gough-Brady. I'm one of the few people who spent most of my life actually making my income from documentary filmmaking. And so that means that I have a somewhat pragmatic view of the form. So I'm in it to do good and to make the world a better place. I'm also in it because I just love playing around with it as a medium. I love the art of it. And I feel the need to make it because, it's not like it pays that well. So you don't do it because, you want to have a kind of big house or big car. I don't feel an obligation to make films about women, but I feel an incredible obligation to include women. So whenever I make my TV series, one of the first things I say to whoever I work with is, so I have a rule, and the rule is that we must have 50% women in this series. And at first everyone's like, oh, but it's actually harder than you think, because women are more likely to say no. They're less likely to put themselves forward. They're less likely to already be famous. And so this is part of my correcting the bias that already exists, is I say, no, we have to find them. However, there's something which is interesting, which if you track my career, you'll note that I make documentaries, like my main kind of oeuvre is documentaries aimed at teenagers. Now, this is considered in the industry women's work. It's looked down on because, it's just educationals. Can't possibly be exciting and, creative like a bloke would be in a feature film if you're making educationals. But, I obviously disagree. And when people see what I make, they're like, oh, okay, that's really great. Because I think we look down on some things that we see as lesser and female, and then those two ideas are put together, unfortunately. I can tell you as a short, blonde female that nobody thinks I know how to use a camera. And I've been in interview situations where, I'm pretty sure the women think it, but the men actually speak it out. They try and tell me how to kind of set up or use my camera as I'm setting it up. And that they have more knowledge than me about that is kind of ludicrous. And, it happens so much so that I've resigned myself to the fact that people will only employ me or hire me for a gig when they already know my work, because then they just don't see the fritzy, blonde, short woman. They see the capable filmmaker. I think with film, it's really important that people see themselves on screen. So, if you want women to feel included in the world, well, then you need to include them in the footage that you film. If they're not there, women are quite good at imagining themselves as other, as the white male. But the point is, if you put people on the screen that reflect these viewers, then they're more likely to say, well, I could do that. I could be part of that. Seeing yourself on the screen is a way of being empowered and represented.